Welcome to the first YHS Yu-Gi-Oh! Home Series, a tournament played at the comfort of your own home because the pandemic has shut everything down. Our competitors will be just a regular guy versus the Dragon Lady, two fine duelists that have made a name for themselves in one way or another. Each duelist will have 3 decks each, one match with a deck that will be randomly selected by a dice roll. So what will our competitors be playing? Just a regular guy will be piloting Valkyries, a deck that doesn't see a whole lot of play these days, but is still a lot of fun. Gravekeepers, a recent deck in his arsenal. While it lacks in power, it makes up for control and disruption. And the ever-infamous Banished deck, a deck that's become notorious both online and at the locals. No one's a fan of this deck, except for just a regular guy. In the next corner, the Dragon Lady will be piloting the Nursimochi Burn, a simple deck with both stall tactics and high-hitting life gain burn effects. Chaos Max, the Dragon Lady's flagship deck, a one-trick pony deck, but still packs a punch. And Ritual Control, a flexible deck focusing on ritualing effect monsters that can take control of almost any situation. Now before we get to the dice roll selection, I will mention that each of these decks have topped at local events at least once, and they're not too combo heavy. So if you're new to the game and want to try to play something that's both strong and simple, you may want to give these decks a try. Now on to the dice roll. The decks are all lined up and labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just a regular guy just rolled a 2, so his first deck will be Valkyries. Dragon Lady has rolled a 6, so it looks like Valkyries would be taking on the Ritual Control. Let's duel! Okay, the dice was rolled, and now they are getting ready to duel. 8,000 points each. Now I should mention that when it comes to Valkyries, they go much better first. They are able to build a very decent board from the extra deck. The way Valkyries work is they just swarm the field, and with the Time Goddess, you can actually go in for an OTK. So now when it comes to the Ritual deck can do OTKs, but it's more about controlling the situation that they have. So right now our duelists have their hands, and just a regular guy won the dice roll, so he is opting to go first, because as we know, Valkyries tend to go first best. So, just a regular guy. He's just mulling over his hand to see what he has. 2 cards set, and that is it. So Dragon Lady draws a card, and the thing with the Ritual deck is it's very consistent thanks to the incantation system. So the pre-preparation of rites, well, you get to get a Ritual monster and the corresponding magic card. So the Shino Baron, the Good Baron as I like to call him, a Ritual monster that not many people think of these days, but he has a really good effect. So the incantation system is all about revealing effects. You reveal it from the hand, and you special summon from the deck. And there are other ways to use these as well, but right now, using the pencil plume, there's such another incantation. So the plume needs the monster, so we've got the candle. So the candle allows you to search your deck for the magic card. So incantation inception. This card is crazy now with rituals, and the great thing about it is you can ritual summon any ritual monster you want, but the materials must be incantations, and it can equal or exceed the levels. Now, the Odd Eyes Dragon, now just a regular guy attempted to do a response, but the thing is, once the Odd Eyes hits the field, you cannot respond to the effect, so it returns the back row to the hand. And as an added bonus, as long as he's on the field, your opponent must pay 500 life points in order to activate a card effect. So another reveal effect, incantation talisman, summon from the deck. And you gotta be careful with these incantations because you only use each effect once per turn. You can summon them, but the effect is once per turn. So that returns the ritual magic to the hand. Preparation, get a level 7 or lower ritual monster. Necros Unicorn, oh boy. So Inception, again, you can ritual summon any monster that equals or exceeds the levels. So now his extra deck is basically turned off. And this is very uncommon, so we got the Baron, Odd Eyes, and Unicorn. 3 hard hitters. So yes, that was an OTK with the Ritual Control deck. Very uncommon, because it's more or less about taking control of the situation. There's a lot of Ritual cards in that deck, so yes, the strategy varies depending what you're going against. Now, the Valkyries, there's actually only 2 people who play Valkyries at my locals. Just a Regular God is one of them. The second duelist, we like to call Matt, and there is a mirror match between these two, and let me tell you, I loved it. Mirror matches are very fun because you can play these decks with different strategies. The primary strategy just as Regular God using with his Valkyries is the Swarm. The win condition primarily is to get the Mischief, the Time Goddess, to skip the battle phase into the next turn and just go in for another swing at your opponent. And that's happened to me numerous times. So Valkyries may be pretty, but you build them right, you don't want to mess with them. So once again, just as Regular God is opting to go first because they work better that way, and once you get the right monsters out, you can link off into real good extra deck monsters. Primarily cards that can disrupt your opponent. So the Bow Goddess is probably one of the better ones you can go after. But right now he's thinking, we'll see if he has a good hand or not to see if he can execute any of these good plays. And oh, just one! He laid just 1 card. Reveal effect to get out the pencil, and he negates it. Now, that token is something I always lay there on the field just to remind myself that I cannot use that field for magic or traps. They'll be negated because that cost me a few duels. So Pencil Plume is negated, so it's on the field, so I cannot use the effect to special summon from the deck, so nothing else. Nothing else in the hand, so back to just a Regular guy. Did he draw something that can build that good control board that I can't get around? Infinite Impertinence is just an amazing card in this deck. There are other disruptors like the Solemn cards, but even Impertinence is definitely the go-to one now. So he's got some ideas going through the extra deck. And with Valkyries, I mean, you can spam the board and link off so easily. So here's the key question. How many Valkyries can he get out? Ride the Valkyries. Alright, Zuete, I'm sorry. Someone's Zuete hits the field, she can target and destroy a monster. So, yep, that Pencil Plume had to go. But the thing with incantations, they're easy to get rid of anyway. They got 0 defense, and once they use their effects, they don't have any other purpose other than to protect yourself, really. Now he's got the Mischief, the Time Goddess, due to the effect of Ride of the Valkyries. So we can all guess where he's going with this play. Yeah, Mischief is such an amazing card, and I can't imagine a Valkyrie build that does not use it. You don't need to use a full playset, however, because where it is searchable. So he has Mischief, and they use Ride of Valkyries. So battle phase goes in with 1600. And another 16. So yes, if you had any more Valkyries on the field, like this would have been game. This is typically how Valkyries can work with the OTK. Get a bunch of Valkyries, Mischief the Time Goddess, and bam. But now he's got some protection, the Goddess Urge. So once she's there, all your Valkyries cannot be targeted. And they can't be destroyed either. So the Dragon Lady is doing the reveal effect to get Talisman out. And looks like she made a mistake. Yes, if I do recall correctly, I summoned the wrong incantation. I actually had 2 candles in my hand, and I believe I did draw a ritual magic card. So, yes, did things in the wrong order here. I could have gotten a monster. But in this situation right now is, if you do mess up with the talisman, with incantations, you can set up a bit of defense anyway, a wall. Just so long as your opponent doesn't do any piercing damage, because that would be bad. So I noticed my mistake, so I just, okay, well, get an incantation out, at least for a small wall here. Alright, so Valkyries. Let's see what just a regular guy can get. Reasoning. Wonderful card in this deck. And I always have a tough time figuring out what. So I picked 7. So let's see what he gets. Oh, right away! Dritte. No, another Zuete. I'm getting this mixed up. Another Zuete. So, same thing. Once a summon, gets the effect to pop a monster. So it is a targeting effect. So because he's targeting, I discard Savarius. Savarius is a really nifty hand trap. So yeah, time skip here. I had to explain the rulings of that card. Yeah, so Savarius, essentially what happens is, if your opponent were to target any of your monsters with any kind of effect, which is destruction or anything like that, you can just discard Savarius to the grave to negate that effect. So he's going into a Link 2 with Hip Hip Shonen, which is very useful. It gives a power boost to all light monsters, which is easy because all Valkyries are light. So final light, he's going to pay 2,000. So that's going to be 2 Valkyries. So right away, these 2 Valkyries are going to have a massive power boost just from Hip Hip Shonen. But in return, I sort of get to do the same, but it has to be a monster that has 2,000 or less attack. And of course, that's all I got is the Pencil Bloom. 0 defense, so 0 attack. Yep. So I'm just verifying to him that no, like once a special summon from the grave, it does not get any effects. So another time skip here, because there's another unusual ruling decision here, because Zuete already uses effect to pop a monster, but it doesn't specify if it's once per card or once per card name. So for the sake of this duel, we'll say, yeah, I'll let you use the other card, a second Zuete, to pop a monster. But I mean, I'm not too clear on that ruling, I didn't look it up, but this is pretty much another win. This is another win condition here for the Valkyries. The Archlord Cristeria, you can normal tribute. And once it's on the field, neither duelist can special summon monsters. And a 2800 beater, that's really, really strong. And the Ritual Control deck is something 100% relies on special summoning. So unless I have a way to negate the effects, Ritual Control isn't looking very good. And that is it, yes. Conceding that particular game, because, yeah, cannot just a summon, and that's what the Ritual deck 100% relies on. So, on to Game 3. And I love Game 3s. This is where the real action happens, because Just a Regular Guy has 1 victory, Dragon Lady has 1 victory. So, yes, this is where everything is on the line. Now, of course, Dragon Lady has lost. But here's the thing. With Ritual Control, typically it goes best going second. It can go first due to certain cards. But here, I opted the Valkyries to go first. Despite it going, doing very well going first. So I declared 6 cards, so I'm just going to pick 6 random cards to banish so that he can draw 2. This is a very risky card in Valkyries because it does rely on certain extra deck monsters to build its board. And apparently Just a Regular Guy is very disappointed because, yeah, I did randomly pick really good cards that he needed. So he's going to see if he can find a good recovery from this. Looking at his hand, let's see what he can do. Card destruction. Okay, so the problem with Valkyries is they don't have a lot of draw power. And this is one of the very few ways it can do so. But card destruction can also be risky with the Ritual Control deck because, yes, you did get rid of a good hand, but you could also pull another one because incantations are just that consistent. Now, here's another good thing about card destruction, Final Light. So, if he had any Valkyries sent to the grave by this effect, he can bring them back. So he's going to pay 2,000 life points. And Brunhilde is going to get 2 counters to this effect. And this also protects it from spell effects. So if I were to try Arageki, for example, Brunhilde is going to be safe. So we normal summon Valkyrie Vierte. Oh, he excavated. Nothing that he's able to use, so they must go back into the deck. But he's got a good field so far now. 3 Valkyries. And you can do some good linking off here if he's able to get any more monsters. But of course that depends on what was banished due to the effect of Pot of Extravagance. So he's looking at his options. And he doesn't have any, so 1 card face down, 3 Valkyries, so let's see if the Ritual Control. Preparation of Rites, get a level 7 or lower ritual monster from deck to hand, and the best card is definitely the Chalice Slime. Chalice Slime gets everything going in ritual decks, especially with his own effect to reveal. So reveal the ritual magic, the special. And another Infinite Impertinence. So once again, I put a little token there as a reminder that I cannot use that space. So Bookstone is negated, so another reveal effect. Reveal a Chalice Slime, and I use as the Inception as the cost. This is a very, very busted combo here that not many people are aware of. But this is why the Chalice Slime and the Inception are so good together. And because it makes them recyclable. So use the effect to special summon from the deck for the talisman, get the ritual monster, and Inception can return to the hand so long as you use an incantation from your hand or field. And you special summon another one from the deck. I know, there's a lot with these guys. So the Pencil Blim comes out, and that just recovers a ritual monster from the grave. So basically what this does, it just gives you more incantation materials for ritual. So the Shino Bird's Calling. Shino Bird's Calling is amazing because a lot like Inception, the levels can equal or exceed. And the Shino Baron's effect allows you to bounce up to 3 monsters back to your opponent's hand, and it's non-targeting. So sorry Chaos Max duelists, Chaos Max won't be able to stand up to the good Baron. So with the Valkyries gone, that leaves his field open. So battle phase, the Baron's going to do 3,000 damage. So there's nothing for main phase 2, so he's going to play evenly matched at the end of the battle phase. So So I choose the Bookstone to go face down. So yes, because the Baron is a spirit monster, it returns to your hand at the end phase. But in this case, he also puts 2 Shinobird tokens, and these are tokens I made myself. It's just easier. So they are level 4, they're win, they're 15, 15, so it's just easier for my opponents to see their values. And that's what he's doing now, he's asking about their values, and it's like, oh, that's exactly what they are. 1 face down, ugh. So this told me that I hit his extra deck hard. And he concedes the duel. Because once the Shinobird Baron comes out again, that card's back to his hand. And take a look at his extra deck. Alpalooza, Blackluster Soldier, IP, Mech Knight, even his Super Poly targets, because he does have Super Polymerization in his deck. So that was the first match of the YHS. Stay tuned for match 2, where once again the dice decides the deck, and match 3 will consist of the remaining decks. Whether you're playing online or at home, remember to be a good sport, play the game, not the fame, and good health to all. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe, and be sure to click on the bell for notifications. You can also check me out on Facebook. The link is in the description below. Happy dueling!